Hi, kindergarten. So I wanted to touch base with you today because this is one of my favorite weeks in kindergarten. And I know we can't do it the way that the teachers and I had planned, but we'll make the best of it and I will show you what we would have done, okay? And then if you have time and space and the way to do it, then you can do it at home as well. And if you don't, that's okay, but you'll still learn something from watching me do this, okay? So this is W week, and normally during this week, it always lands in springtime, and it generally lands at a time where we're starting to see more rain and we're starting to see things grow, and it's the perfect time to do a worm dig for W week. So the thing about worms that you should know is that you might think that they're icky, but they are pretty cool and really super helpful to the environment, to the earth. How that is that they like to naturally burrow down into the dirt. And while they're doing that, they are creating tunnels in the dirt. And those tunnels allow for air to flow through the dirt and for water to seep down and flow through the dirt. And that makes it really healthy. Makes the dirt really healthy for plants to grow, because the plants now are getting the air and water from the dirt that it needs to grow. As the worms go through the tunnel, they also leave behind their feces, which is just another way of saying poop. And that helps the soil be really, really fertile also, really nutritious. So it's great for the earth that the worms dig through. That's why a lot of compost bins use worms. And what a compost bin is that you can build at home, or you can buy for your home, a bin where you put in certain food scraps. So be like egg scraps, no animal products, no meat or anything like that, but you can do vegetable scraps and things like that you would normally throw away, could be put into a compost bin with dirt and worms, and then it would break down, it would decompose, and it would make the dirt really fertile, and then you could use that dirt for planting in your garden or other things like that, and it would be a much better way, be less garbage in our landfills. So that's another way that worms help us also. Okay, so the thing to know is that worms like it where it's wet, and they like it where it's dark, okay? And that's just one part of what we're going to do today, okay? You have to know that's something to keep in mind. When we dig, you want to go where it's darker and wetter. So I'm going to start picking some places to dig, and then you could think at home, is that a good spot that she chose? Okay, let's see. My dog is playing with her friend, so I'm not sure how much they'll let me be. Let's see. I'm gonna pause here and okay. So under my kids' swing set is a lot of muddy patch, because what happens when there's a lot of foot traffic is that the grass stops growing, and then where the grass stops growing, that's where dirt accumulates, and when it gets rainy, it makes puddles, okay? So it is kind of covered by the trees above, so it's not getting too much direct sun, and it's quite wet. So I want you to make a prediction. When I dig here, will I find a lot of worms, or will I not find a lot of worms? Worms? No worms? Maybe some worms? What do you think? Let's dig and find out. Okay. I'm going to get my shovel. If I happen to have a shovel for planting, if you do not, a really big spoon from home would work too. Remember, always get a grown-up's okay to do this though. All right. Lacey, you have to go. Let's see what we got here. Maybe not too much water, because they might drown, right? Let's see. Oh boy, nothing yet. Uh-oh, looks like I'm running into a little trouble. It's maybe too wet. There's a lot of puddle here, and the worms, I guess, can drown. So maybe too much water is a problem. Uh-oh. Okay, so yesterday my husband dug up a plant that had died in the backyard, and so he dug it all up so we could plant a new one. And I'm just wondering where this plant was. It did rain the last 2 days by me where I live, and so maybe there's some worms in here. I wonder what you think. Think there will be some? It's a lot drier, the soil, but if you were here to feel it, you would know that it's actually wet. It's not as dry as it appears in the video. Oh, oh, oh. I found you, buddy. Hold on, where'd you go? There you are. Oops. There's one. Yeah. I think the thing here is that it's not as sunny as it was in our really muddy patch. And I think that the mud in the first spot was too wet. Okay, let's check another spot. My husband had dug up a few plants that were no good. This area gets a lot of water in my yard, but not a lot of sunlight. So let's see. See, this soil looks looser to me. Oh, there's a nice one. Hey, buddy. Good to meet you. Let's see. He's a long one. I'm gonna put him with his friend over here. So we got 2 so far. Okay. Let's see if more come over here. Oh, here's another one. Where'd you go? Oh, I lost him. There he is. Hi, buddy. Another big one. Skinny on the end. I'm gonna put him. That's 3. See, the other one is trying to make his way out of the container. Get down. All right, let's keep going. How many we can find here? Plant remnants. Okay, so the front of my yard, I think, is darker in patches. So this is brighter over here, but if I go under there where the shadows are, we might be a little luckier. Okay, although we found 3 so far, let's take a look. Okay, let's see. The dirt is wet or moist because it has been raining here on and off the last few days. So let's see. Okay, there's a lot of some old roots in here. Kind of hard to dig. And if you feel that you're resisting, you're probably not going to find anything because there's too many branches and weeds to get through. Oh, there's one. Hi, bud. Okay, so now we have 4 so far. Let's go over a little bit. So it's a good day to dig for worms because it has been wet, so it's nice. one more. I think we can skip ahead. Maybe I should stop and take a look, because you might have missed it. Because they blend into the dirt a lot and you don't know that they're there. Okay. Well, I think the idea is that we found them where it was not too dry and not too wet. Some of those, see where we were in the backyard with the lots of water, was too much. So hold on for our next experiment. Okay, so knowing what we now know about worms, that they like it where it's dark and they like it where it's damp, not soaking wet, but damp. We're gonna do a little experiment and I hope you'll come along with me, okay? We have 4 worms and I have 2 containers here, 1 and 1. This one, I have a dry side and a wet side, or a damp side. This one, I have a light side that's uncovered, and I've covered this side so that inside would be a little darker than that side. So a brighter side and a darker side, okay? So I'm going to put 2 worms on this dry side, and you will notice that they definitely want to end up crawling over. Now, you would think they'd go close to the edge and get out, because that's what they've been doing before. They've been trying to crawl up the sides for escape, which makes sense. But here, my prediction is that they're going to go over to the wet side because they want that dampness, okay? And then here, same thing. We're gonna put these last 2. Come on, guys. Okay. I don't know about this. We're gonna put these last 2 worms on the bright side, and I predict that they will walk over to the darker side where they like it better, okay? You can see this guy's making a run for it. He's very active. Literally rolling his whole body to get over to the wet side. He's coming closer to me. Yeah, roll, 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 keep going. Roll, roll, roll your boat. These guys aren't doing much yet. And we could check back in with them short. These guys are definitely making more progress than these guys. Let's see. Keep going. You're almost to the promised land. There he goes. Now he realizes it's wet. There it is. And now he's made it to the damp side. This guy's not quite making it. And you see how they move? They don't have feet, so they have to move like that, push themselves along. You're going in the wrong direction, buddy. Okay, we'll check back again shortly. But this guy has made it. Okay, so we're back. So the one who made it to the damp side went under the towel to go where it was damp and dark. And the one that was on this side, he didn't quite make it over to the damp side. What he did was he cheated and he went under. So he's not quite figuring out where the wetness is, but he did find out where the darkness is. And our friends here made it over to the darker side. Okay. All right. So you know, I would never harm anyone in filming, so these worms are going to be freed back into our dirt later. Hope you made predictions with me. Thanks, and don't hurt those worms. They help us. Thanks. And here are some books that you can enjoy along with this wonderful worm dig. Get out there, dig, have fun.